Aloha, everybody. Let's welcome the four-headed council, apparently. Oh, Lavender Moon was the first one in. Hi, Lavender Moon.
Hi.
Followed by Julie Kusha Watts. And then we have Betsy. Hi, Betsy.
Hello, everybody.
And Peter J. Watts. Hello, Peter.
Hey, Peter. And happy
Aloha,
birthday,
Sadhana.
Julie.
Welcome.
Hello, hello.
Then we had Maria, Silver Star Priestess, who I believe is Heather. Long-eyed, skinny-eyed toe. Gigi. Hello, Gerald. Hey, Andy. And Jada. Wow, I'm getting quite a few people popping in. I should probably pull it up on my phone so I can keep up real time. So if you're wondering what's going on, this whole Maui or bust, all three of these lovely women have approached me talking about possibly creating a retreat here. So I thought, let's all do it together. And now we are here to talk about it, talk about ideas, and have your input on what a retreat to Maui would look like. So, I think the first one that approached me was Amber, actually.
Yeah. A long time ago.
So can you share what your vision of it was?
Well, I don't know that I really had a vision. I just knew that I had to do a retreat in Maui. Yeah. I think now I have more of a vision than I did then, since I did my course, since I created my course and I wrote the book. So I think I have more of a vision now, but then I just knew I had to be there. That was the vision. That was it.
And then Betsy kind of had talked about it as well, with Amber as well, I believe. And you actually did have kind of a vision, I believe.
Not for the entire retreat, but like Amber, I have a book and I have a workshop on my book too about intuitive development and mediumship and deepening in your process. So that was how I envisioned my portion of a retreat, was working strictly in the mediumship end and trusting the voice.
I love that. And then Sadhana recently approached me, and we even actually had a live discussing it.
We did.
Yeah.
We had a live Facebook chat. I have been deeply connected to Hawaii for a long time. And every time I've been there, the experience has been so powerful. And to experience a retreat there would, especially in Maui, would be so beautiful for me. So I definitely, I have lots to offer, yoga, among other things. There's just so many possibilities, but part of the experience, I think, is to connect with the land. And there is so much power in the land in Maui. And I think it's a pretty special place to connect with the elements. And the power of the wind, the power of the water, the fire, the earth, the red dirt. There's just something really special about the elements in Maui. And I would love, love, love to put some effort into finding a way to ceremonially, ritually, some way, even connecting with some elders on the island to honor the elements and to feel their medicine on Maui.
Yeah, the land here is definitely something special, for sure. That's why I always added the whole idea of an adventure, because it's like I want to take people places, Right.
I love that. I just have to give my connection to Hawaii as well, is that my grandmother and my great grandmother lived there. And they lived on, although I have been to Maui, we took trips to Maui when I was younger. And I have some pictures too. She lived on the Big Island in Hilo and then later on in Oahu because, medical care is better there. So you have more doctors in Oahu. So she was there later on up until when she passed away. So I've always loved the land there, and I always felt just a special connection there also, just even when I was little, and just the plants and playing outside and the little lizards and the slugs and everything. I loved it.
Right.
The snails in Hana are, I want to say, double the size of my thumb. Like the last time I was there, I was with a group of Reiki masters, and we did a 10-day training in Hana, and I rented a house, and I was astounded. I really felt like I was in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
It was crazy. Yeah.
I remember the first time I was here and saw the heart-shaped philodendron that, we've all had in our homes, those cute little heart-shaped leaves. But here they're like this bigger than my screen, bigger than my head. I remember being astounded by that one.
I have pictures of me when I'm little. I'm putting my head next to the flowers to take a picture, like, how big, and then put a flower on me that's like the size of my head.
Yeah. And Jonathan, when you mentioned the Plumeria Forest, like I'm all over that. Just to
Plumeria is my favorite.
Oh, Plumeria Forest. Now wait a minute, that one's a new one on me. Where's that?
So that's way past Hana, past even the 7 sacred pools.
That's like my dream. Can we go there?
There's an ancient church built in the one that's still standing was built in the 1800s. There's ruins from one built in 1670s.
You mean where Charles Lindbergh is?
Past that even.
Okay. More towards
yeah.
More toward. Okay. Yeah. More towards Kaupo. Yeah, I know.
There's an ancient graveyard where each grave has had a Lumeria planted over it.
Oh, that's cool.
Really?
And each tree has a different colored Plumeria, so it's just this rainbow of Plumeria when you're there. Of course, you got to go in blooming season. So.
Yeah.
When is blooming season?
Spring?
Which season in Hawaii?
I think it's a spring. Well, some plumerias are going all the time, but I think springtime is like the biggie. I could see us we need a 4-wheel drive probably, but I could see us all going on a morning or afternoon trip down to the birthing pools out in Haiku. I could see that one. There's a place that's on a cliff. You walk down these mud steps down to this little rock shelf down alongside the ocean, and there's a couple of spots in there where women there's perfect boulders in there where women would crouch to have the babies, and that's a pretty powerful little spot. And I haven't been there in years and years and years, and I've heard the road is good down there now. So somebody I know went recently, so I'm kind of itching to get down there. It's a really special place.
Wow.
There's so many special places here, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You could also take them out to the west side to the giant labyrinth that's on the finger of land. So when you're walking the labyrinth, you're surrounded by ocean.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
We were talking about how many days to gather for. And with the number of adventures that we were talking about, plus the practices to do at our center, wherever we're gathered, that's plus the travel days on either side to get there is I don't know. I think that's an important part of this conversation, as well as what month and
Right.
and how many people are interested. So there's a lot of questions to throw out there to everybody today. Gigi, where are you located? You say you cannot, of course, you cannot go to Hawaii. Does anybody know where Gigi is?
Yeah. Isn't it, Gigi, are you in Germany?
Germany? Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I was going to say Germany. Yeah. Oh, I love this.
Yeah, so for me,
Peter
there are only
says,
two. Oh, what is Peter say?
Maui,
Ooh.
Hawaii has been on my bucket list since I was a kid. I taught its geology for years. Oh, you got to come, definitely.
Yes, absolutely. There are only 2 months where I can do it. Unfortunately, because I'm a teacher, I can only do July or August.
Yeah.
And I'm good in the summer in Hawaii. It's fine for me. It's not fine for everybody.
You know, August gets a little bit thinner on the crowd, so some of the travel is a little more affordable, and some of the nightly rates are more affordable in August. As kids go back to school, it gets a little bit quiet here. July is pretty busy, which would be another thing to take into consideration if we're wanting to connect with special places. You don't want to do it on the day when the buses are unloading people all day long.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's true.
Yeah. There's really not any so much as privacy here anymore. So you have to kind of pick and choose your spots a little bit. So, and Jada says, so where would everybody be staying? Well, you guys were talking about Lumeria, investigating if Lumeria could.
Yeah, I have not had a chance to call Lumeria yet, but I will. I'm writing everything down that we talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, Lumeria would be a good choice because this is exactly what that place was designed for, with spiritual retreats. And they have a commercial kitchen there. And they used to have their own kitchen staff. The building itself is very simple. The rooms are more like you would think you would find it like a yoga retreat, very simple rooms. It's not luxury by any means. It's extremely rustic. But the place was built specifically for things like this.
That sounds perfect.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. That's why I'm looking.
Yeah. The other option out, the YMCA out in K&I that does rent spaces for this is doable, but the weather
it's
out
there too.
And the deal with that is that you have to get your own caterer to do it, and it's a lot of work to haul stuff out there. I know the woman who did the Sufi retreat every year, a 2-week-long Sufi retreat every year for years and years and years. So she knows how to do it, but there's just more involved with it.
Yeah. You know what? I found probably getting a place that's more put together is I've done both, like, renting a place that you're totally on your own and renting and hiring a chef to do the cooking, and it's just so much easier when you're in a place that's set up for that. Yeah, really is.
So Jada says, does one need to quarantine when coming to Hawaii? It's been that way in the past. So there's no quarantine right now as long as you can prove you've either been vaccinated or you have a negative test.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they make you take another test when you get here.
Yeah, you have to test on both ends.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you don't have to really quarantine.
And Jada, I see your comment about you can pitch a tent on the beach on the Big Island. It may not be that way anymore. Things have really changed quickly. Things have really changed in Hawaii really quickly. So, yeah. It used to be you could pitch a tent on the beach on Maui too. So, Yeah.
Well, it would be, Lumeria would be amazing because that would just be a great central point to go to and from all of the excursions, as well as to have a place to gather. And around that area, I'm sure there are also Airbnbs that people can find close to Lumeria, because isn't it in a residential area?
No.
On its own.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could try and get Airbnbs in Paia or
Makawao. Yeah, you could find
of the road that is like in the middle of, basically.
So how far is Lumeria from Haiku? Not Haiku. From what's the name of the town on the coast where you?
Paia.
Paia.
It's about 10 minutes to Paia, about 5 minutes to Makawao.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the other thought I had was, though, if it's like small enough group to get an Airbnb house in Haiku, where it's like a big house with multiple
I have done
rooms.
that before in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
You could definitely do that. Yeah.
Right, with a big common area and 6 bedrooms or something.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Or Laniapoko.
Really
get a place in Laniapoko where we have that stellar view over Lahaina. That would be fun.
Yeah. That would be amazing, actually.
That would be. And no mosquitoes. For those of us that are mosquito bait.
Yeah,
for me to be outside in Haiku, I have to wear a beekeeper suit.
So logistically, do we need to create a Facebook page for this event, or a website, or a place to collect, a Facebook group to collect information about who's willing to come, how much money are people willing to spend, how many days?
Don't we need to kind of have something to offer people so they can understand if they would want that to choose that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We would have to do we'd have to come together with what it is that we're going to teach. We would do a little presentation, like a webinar, and then we can have a link for a Google form, something like that, so that we can just collect whoever that's interested, and we could have all of the questions that we'd like to ask on there. And then that way we can just have it all in one place.
So a brief sketch. We know I'm doing mediumship. Sadhana, you were talking about yoga.
Right, which could include some meditation practices.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I will definitely be working on subconscious beliefs, breaking through those subconscious beliefs that are holding you back from living your life and communicating with your soul and receiving that information.
And Jonathan?
I am going to offer a group past life regression, as well as smaller groups of acupuncture aided past life regression.
Cool.
So that's why, for me, like, multiple days is probably ideal, because then I could do multiple small groups.
Nice.
And then, of course, for the people who don't want the acupuncture side of things, the group past life regression would be acupuncture free. So. But for those who want to actually experience that deeper dive that the acupuncture offers, yeah, I think doing acupuncture past life regressions in small groups would actually be even more potent than the acupuncture past life regression in itself. Because I've noticed that when I do acupuncture in a group setting, people seem to have a stronger reaction than if it's just one-on-one. So it's very interesting. Like, we build up a field by them being like next to each other.
Okay. Can you find a justice of the peace or somebody to do weddings? Gerald is asking.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
Also, can I just say, if Peter comes, I believe Peter does weddings, right, Peter?
No?
Got to be licensed here.
Well, and Gerald has been pushing to
He's
get me.
but you have to be
to,
licensed in Hawaii. Oh,
Yeah, you'll have to get some kind of. Yeah.
Sure we could get someone.
Jada also had another question too that we should take a quick pass at. So, could only you four offer a class? That just depends on the amount of time it runs, right? I mean, because if we have 4 teachers teaching 4 things, theoretically, we would have yoga and or meditation in the morning. Then we would have food break, a class, lunch break, a class or an excursion, and maybe another meditation or something in the evening. How much can you cram in one day, right?
Yeah.
Well, and that's why I think a 9-day thing would be good, because then we could break up the things. So like the first day is Betsy mediumship, and we just focus on mediumship for that whole day.
Yes, that
And
sounds
the next day,
better.
like Sadhana does yoga and meditation, and then after we've been worked on that, the next day we go into breaking through the subconscious beliefs, right?
And
That
Peter
way
says he's a licensed minister. I just have to add this in. It should be good anywhere in the USA. He's a licensed minister.
And there's the caveat. This is Polynesia. Don't. I would Google that, Peter. I would Google that. Imagine doing business in Puerto Rico. That's what it's like doing business in Hawaii. It ain't America. So
if Jada is asking, are we open to accepting applications from other teachers as well too? I think is that what you're asking, Jada? Do you think?
It jumps. Very structured machine must have been ways at times to explore as well. Well, yeah, that's why I was thinking mornings could be class time and then afternoon adventure time. Or maybe morning adventure time, and then once you've had your physical fill, and then come for the spiritual side.
So Gerald is saying, wouldn't it be beneficial to structure the classes so they build or support each other? I think we would do that. We would come together and make each thing build on another, because they do all fit so beautifully together.
I think so.
It would just be order and structuring them and building. Absolutely.
Susie has a good question here. Rental car prices.
It's not like it was. Yeah, it's not like it was when it was all the crazy $1,000, because the reason the rental car prices got so high was because the rental car companies shipped them all off island when we closed for COVID. So they've gotten more back. Yeah, so they've restocked to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But do you really need a rental car? I mean, if you're doing an organized retreat, do you really need it? If we're going to do an excursion, we probably would want to do a big van or something. Yeah. Maybe.
There's actually, I forget the name of the business, but just a few doors down from me, there's a guy that has a big white van specifically for like groups to rent. So I can always try and go knock on his door.
So what if people want to go into Paia and pick up groceries or something like that?
So
Lumeria's got the food, like yeah.
But also I've done stuff like that before, and you know what we had? We had a driver that worked with us, like if we got the van or something, and we had certain times where there was like a shuttle. They would do a going in and going out at certain times where you could do that, or you could even, sometimes we worked it out where we would tip the driver extra, pay the driver extra too, but that was like worked in before. So we could have a conversation with a certain driver that we'd like to use and see if they would be willing to also do, like, besides the main travel, a certain time during free time to do a shuttle into town or something like that.
How many people who live on Maui would participate?
Wow.
Not
Haven't even
sure.
thought of that.
Yeah.
I think most people that live on Maui have 2 or 3 jobs, so
Right.
probably not. I don't know. That would be a different marketing group. That would be, yeah. I'm not even sure who to market that to.
So it would be a
I
destination
guess.
event.
A destination event. That's what it's looking like, especially to Maui,
Right.
I would think.
Yeah.
I would think.
A destination retreat.
Exactly.
Okay. It looks like Peter's done some research on the weddings. Okay, so earlier on, Julie said something about 16 days.
Oh, yeah, to immerse in a culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think you guys said something like 10, 11 days. Since you're doing travel, I think that that's probably the perfect time. Because I know that some people are working and they have to take off from work for a certain amount of days. And usually some smaller number works better. So tell us, I know some of you are retired and that you can stay for 16 days. But would any of you be interested in coming and staying for something like 10 or 11 days? Would that be something that's possible for those of you that work?
I think for most people, it's a full day of travel on either side.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah,
for sure.
Jada's writing that right now.
Right. So you lose a day on each end, at least.
So that's why I think we suggested 11 days. That way it's 9 solid days. 4 on one side, 4 on the other, and a middle day for just like going wherever, doing whatever. So 4 days and 4 days.
Or we could hang around in our pajamas and yoga mats and throw tarot cards.
Yes.
Yep.
That too. There, I was going to say, I hadn't heard tarot mentioned yet.
And we could do a campfire paranormal live hangout one night.
Oh, that'd be fun.
That would be fun. Hey there, Candy.
So with the retreats, it seems like people come here for the specific training, not so much to do both. So is there a way that if somebody couldn't take 11 days or 16 days, could they come and participate in a 4 or 5 day retreat and go home? Not necessarily do a couple of days and then in between and then stagger it out. Is there a way that we can have excursions like on either end, the beginning and the end of the time period for those that wanted to take part, and then the organized thing kind of sandwiched in the middle? Because if taking time off is going to leave some people that would like to join out of and wouldn't be able to come, is there a way that we can work something?
I love what Gerald has to say.
Yeah.
Me too. It's just like the best thing ever. I mean,
right. Oh, and then Jada
it's a
offers
fantasy come true.
healing, laying crystals on the body for alignment. So I guess let's round back to that idea of other teachers. I mean, would there be time for other classes, or?
In all honesty, because I've been in many retreats, been involved on the the other of the teaching side, and less is way more. Because the more things that you have, the less deep you can go, and
Right.
time gets away from you. Like people start sharing, they're going deep into it, and you run out of time before you know it. And if we had so many classes and so many things to do, people would feel hurried.
They'd never get to it all. Right.
Yeah, they wouldn't be able to get deep into the experience.
Yeah, I agree.
We're not offering a conference, we're offering a retreat.
Yes.
Which is different.
Which is different. That's true.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, if you want to stay around a little longer and offer something after, I wouldn't be opposed to that either.
Right.
I see Maria said it's the traveling from Germany would be around 24 hours. Yes, I have done that. I have flown to Greece from Maui. It is 24 hours. And I don't think there's so much as direct anything anywhere anymore. So it might even take a little longer. I had a friend of mine just posted on Facebook. She flew to Egypt a couple of days ago, but she had a 10-hour layover in Seattle and then flew to Europe from there.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So travel's a big part of the equation, but I think, I hate to say it, but the other retreats that I've been a part of or aware of, that component of it is really out, not in the realm of the instructors to try and figure out. That we've got to figure out our vision about what our retreat has to offer and when it is. And
yes.
And where is
you usually figure out how you're going to get there. Absolutely. Every retreat I've ever done, whether it's to, whether I was going to India or Montana, or Sierra did hers in Machu Picchu and Peru, you get the destination, and then you figure out your travel on your own.
Right.
I remember Miraval picked people up in the van. I remember that. All we had to do was find the van. And the van took us
you do the shuttle
from the airport in Tucson. Yeah. Yeah.
We did that in Puerto Rico. We did that. So sometimes you can do that with the shuttle.
Well, that's what I was thinking, that van that's just down the road.
I like that idea.
I've seen them with wedding party, plastered on the side, and then tour on the side.
What happened to the party bus? Do you remember the party bus? Yeah, somebody got a secondhand bus and painted it up and named it the party bus, and they would, it was before Uber. So Jade asked another good question. Will there be an itinerary to pick what classes you want to attend, or a day planned already? And that's something too. Since there are 4 of us that offer 4 things, do people want to do?
I would say both, that the entire retreat, and tell me if I'm wrong, but the entire retreat experience is to go through all of the 4 phases of whatever it is that we're doing, because they will build on each other. Right. When you're doing work, like let's say I'm working on getting past subconscious beliefs, well, it's not just in your head, it's also in your body. And then that also has to do with your greater soul communication. So it all works together, whether you're doing yoga, meditation, your ability to concentrate, or going deep into past life experiences, or you're connecting with spirit. It's all connected, and you want to get all of it. But at the same time, that there is an itinerary. So you do get it, like today, you will know what today is. Today is this or that. You have that block time. Something that we used to like to do, Sierra and I, is you had it, you knew what was going on basically, but you didn't know all the little details. And that's also part of the process of letting go and letting go into the experience. So I'm working on mediumship with Betsy right now, and we're going to kind of do this, and to prepare for what you have to wear, but you don't know every little detail, and part of that is the work that you're doing to let go and let the moment take you.
Yeah.
So I would say both.
Candy's question about timing for this. you know, depending on the availability at Lumeria, we might be talking August 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I don't know that they're even up and running yet, to tell you the truth. I haven't seen anything. Have you seen anything posted by them at all lately, Jonathan?
Nothing. No.
Yeah. So
No, we should even check and make sure that they're actually working. Because right now they could be shut down. Functioning.
And
Yes, thank you.
The other idea about that big Airbnb, because we can also limit the slots, you know, however many people can sign up. But actually, if most people want to do 2023, if that's better for most people, then we can certainly think about that.
Yeah, I also know a private chef who would be really good for a house like that. She does that a lot, and she knows how to cook all that fancy stuff, all the diet and special, you know, kinds of diet things. She knows how to do all that. Yeah. Yeah, she's a really good chef too. She's done it for a long time.
We had a chef at the Reiki Master Retreat as well too in Hana. It was amazing. I took photos of every meal. It was all vegan and so gourmet. It was just oh my God, it was beautiful.
I love it.
I actually know several chefs myself, so I mean we don't have any issue with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, Maui's like that. You can't turn around without bumping into a massage therapist and a private chef.
Yeah.
That is
so, you know, if there were more people, I mean, is it possible to rent 2 houses relatively close to each other? And then one would be the main center, and then the other would be the overflow bedrooms.
That'd be Laniapoco. If that property, if they'll let anybody use it, where it would depend on the availability, and it's easy to find that one out. Probably it's the place where they shoot Temptation Island. It's set up for that. It's a big property that's got a lot of satellite buildings on it. I just don't know which one it is, but I have a friend that lives up there. She might know.
We did that before in Rincon. We had the main house. It was on the beach, and it had like 6 bedrooms in it or so. And then we had next door, they had like apartments where they opened it up, and that was the overflow. And it worked out just fine. They stayed over. Everything was at the main house.
Do you know of any place like that on island, Jonathan? There's a couple big estates. There's a couple big estates in the hills in Wailuku, but they're private.
Yeah. Well, there's some beach houses in South Maui, but those are kind of pricey. So.
We might as well just book the Grand Wailea. Then I can. I think.
Well, that was actually a thought I had, was possibly getting like a group rate at one of the resorts, because then you could have like a block of rooms together and a dedicated conference space. So I mean, that's was one idea
vibe,
that kind of.
But I'm up.
It's a totally different vibe. But
it's a different vibe.
If we want more people, I think that's what we would have to do.
Yeah.
Ram Dass did a thing at the Marriott long time ago, like 20-something years ago at the Marriott.
Well, now they use that hotel at Napili, because Ram Dass and
Wayne Dyer,
not Wayne Dyer, Krishna Das do a retreat every November at Hale Napili.
Oh yeah, where the sea house is.
Yeah.
Oh, that is really pretty over there.
Nice.
Yeah, that is really pretty.
If it's called Hale Napili, it's like a.
Yeah, it's just kind of an old rustic looking A-frame at Napili Bay. Yeah. Tony Robbins goes to the Ritz.
Huh? That's a whole other vibe.
That's a whole other vibe.
Tony, yeah. So
I
Oh,
like the idea though of an Airbnb, just making sure that it's a big enough space that we have like a conference space and separate living spaces.
Yep.
That place in Laniapoco, if they can fit the cast and crew for Temptation Island, they could fit our retreat. Just saying.
That sounds good. It looks like a couple of people. Peter saying 2023 and Gigi saying 2023. August 2023 sounds good.
Yeah.
I
already got that written down here.
Yeah. Oh, Susie, of course we will have waivers. Absolutely.
And I have a international as well as online rider on my insurance, so I can teach online. Right. I can teach in Hawaii. I can teach in, wherever.
Yes.
Well, I have pilot paperwork and acupuncturist anyway, so anyone who wants the acupuncture part of things is going to have some paperwork.
Right. So I'll be good there.
Rent the island of Lanai. LOL.
I like that.
Iridescent sea.
Iridescent sea. What is your name? I don't know your name. Do I know your name? I don't think so.
The only place to rent over there now for overnight, though, is run by the Fort Seasons. So if your pockets run that deep, set her up.
Right.
Set her up.
Well, if you want rustic, we could always rent out Oluwalu.
You're sappy.
Yeah, the Quonset huts. Glamping at Oluwalu. Yeah.
Glamping. I like that too.
Yeah, there's that. It would be a lot cheaper. I think it would be a lot cheaper to rent the island of Molokai.
Probably.
Yeah.
Is Molokai even habitable?
Yeah.
Not Molokai. No, I was thinking of Mokini.
Ko'olave. You're thinking of Ko'olave.
Ko'olave. Okay.
I wonder if I've been to Molokai.
Ko'olave is the one that was bombed to smithereens.
Could that be possible?
Oh, okay.
It's not.
Oh, Sue lived in Maui for 5 years. Yeah, cool.
What is it?
The islands of Ko'olave was the target practice.
Oh, Molokai, yeah, it's farming and ranching and just they're tiny. Yeah, there's no stoplight, there's no restaurant. There's one little grocery store.
Yeah.
I think I went there when I was
like
6.
beyond rustic.
Maybe. Now I have to look into that. I remember going on a boat to an island and something about Molokai, and now I'm like, I have to find out.
Yeah. Yeah, if you went to some little tiny island, it was probably Molokai. You have to be personally invited to go to Nihiau. It's a private island. It was a gift from one of the princes to one of the colonists. So, yeah, that one's private.
Wow. Well, what are some other people's thoughts? So a couple people are saying August 2023. Gerald, what do you think?
That sounds more realistic to me, just because the way the world is, right now.
The other thought I had was for glamping was the cabins over at the Black Sand Beaches by Hana.
Why Napa Napa?
Yeah,
those are by lottery, or you have to bid. I think that's a year and a half out to get a reservation on those. Right. It's through the state. It's not private. It's through the state. So you have to individually request a cabin. It's like Poly Park.
Right.
So we have some ideas. We have like an Airbnb type thing with like an alternate place. Perhaps, or maybe like a smaller Airbnb, something like that to catch the overflow. We have glamping. That's another idea, glamping. And then we have Lumeria if it's open or some other place like it. That's really cool. We're thinking August 2023. Is that what we're we're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And we already understand pretty much what is going to be on the itinerary. We're thinking those 11 days sound good. Sounds good.
Yeah, all of that sounds great. So I think that the four of us need to just meet privately and to divide up some of the work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm laughing at Gerald's comment here.
Yeah.
How many of us would be able to sleep on this couch?
I'm already going to be taking up Jonathan's couch.
Somebody can have the air mattress out on my lanai.
Jonathan's like, no one. No.
We have one guest room, but
I'm also thinking about Candy's comment, and wouldn't it be amazing, because we don't know, maybe there is an incredible amount of wealth in this group somewhere that is not, we don't know about, and that we could offer I don't know what the word is, but we could offer to sponsor somebody a scholarship.
Scholarship, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. If we have the resources somehow.
Well, I mean, it's definitely just amazing. You'd be surprised who will.
It happens.
Give money
all the time. I agree.
So Candy, do not lose hope.
Candy, I got a scholarship to something once. Julie got a scholarship to go to Egypt. It happens. It really happens.
Why Napa Napa?
Do you want us to start a Facebook group?
Why Napa Napa is that's what we were talking about, is you have to bid about a year and a half in advance for your cabin. It's not something that's booked the whole. And cooking is rustic in the cabin and outdoor barbecue. So the caterer would be up for a challenge on that one, because there really isn't a kitchen there.
Yeah.
All right. So it looks like we have the skeleton of it. We just have to fill it in with these.
What are we going to call the Facebook group? Maui or Bust?
Yeah, we could. For now.
We could pick a more spiritual name. Maybe we could take some.
It's like a funny.
How about manifesting Maui?
Ooh, manifesting Maui. I love that.
Manifesting Maui. Oh, that is perfect. I couldn't hear because I was yelling over you. I love that. Manifesting Maui.
Manifesting Maui. I love that. Perfect.
Yeah. Does if anybody else has another question, pop it in there.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Whatever happens, I'll watch you, lovely lot. Would you film it? That could be another thing. Maybe we could do like a second streaming, for people that don't have the finances to come physically,
able to come virtually,
to do a separate virtual stream. Like a modified virtual stream for some of the classes, which would be a login, like private, because I know people would be, talking about, deep things in there that it won't just be on the internet. It will be private for people that purchase
you have to get
that.
The code.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So we could stream as well. Okay.
Jada has another question. Jump in here. So are you charging for this retreat or a set price for the cost of the housing?
Oh, we would charge for the retreat. Absolutely.
Wow. Is there a
But it
werewolf?
would be a
No, that's
it would be
Amber.
like a package depending on the housing. Here's another thought. I had other things that we went on with Sierra where we because I did retreats with Sierra where we had something like a main lodge, a place that we were staying. And then we had kind of there were two different price points, the people that would be staying in the main place and the people that would be like glamping.
Right.
So that's another idea, for price points and housing. That some people could choose to stay in the resort and some people could choose to go glamping. Or perhaps there's one resort that offers both, like a room or...
Didn't
Usually those
Lumeria
places
once
offer
have
that.
campsites? Or no? No. Okay. Misremembering.
It's not that big of a property, honestly. It used to be the halfway house. So it's a specific plot of land that it used to have just two big buildings on it, but it's different now.
Oh, Gerald. For those of us in the nosebleed seats.
The only place that I can think of that had hotel rooms or glamping is Hotel Hana Maui. Whatever they're calling it now. I think it starts with a T. It's some kind of fancy name now. Let's call it Touche for the heck of it. But I think they used to do that. I don't know what the situation is now. It's been sold a couple of times since that.
Right. Well, a lot of things have changed here. So.
Yeah, a lot is here. But I know that house in Laniapoco is up and running because they filmed their Temptation Island just wrapped, and they filmed there more than once. So it just wrapped. So that one is open.
Do you have a contact for that space?
I can reach out to somebody. I know somebody who was on Temptation Island. I can try and reach out to her and see if she can tell me.
Betsy, can you type the name of that location into the chat? Laniapoco.
Jonathan, could you do that? Because I can't use the chat on and I turned my phone off because the person I told I was unavailable at noon kept texting me. So
that's funny.
I might be misspelling it.
Launi, Lonnie A Po P-O-K-O.
Laniapoco. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, I see it. Laniapoco.
That's a whole neighborhood place. There's a beach park with that name and houses up the hill. But Temptation Island, we can Google Temptation Island location because that should come up.
Oh, thank you, Gerald.
Thank you, Gerald.
Yeah, thank you so much, Gerald.
Aww.
It's going to be amazing. I already know.
And if there's other suggestions, like if nobody's particularly interested in doing the mediumship thing, then I can also offer connecting to self, connecting to guides, protection, spiritual and psychic protection. I can offer that instead of mediumship if that one doesn't fly.
You know what? Well, first of all, I'm like, who wouldn't want to be a part of mediumship? But also, we can have some of those questions on our Google form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we could get the idea of like, what are people looking for? Which part are they interested in? And we'll add in, all of those questions and we could find out. But I want to be a part
I love this. Gerald says 2023 is a 7 chariot year, which is the perfect year for connecting and working with guides.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So
we'll do
I
that.
know a couple of you have to leave at the top of the hour. We're getting close.
Yes.
So if anyone has any more questions, throw them in the chat now. And do any of you have anything else you wanted to mention?
I don't think so. Jonathan, do you want to set up a Facebook page? Or is it too early?
Maybe it's too early. Maybe first we'll meet
Yeah.
and talk and structure it, and then we can get a group.
Okay. Sounds good.
Gerald, that's so funny.
Oh, I love that.
Oh yes, well the astrology. We're gonna need some
Oh
input
yes, of course, Peter.
from Julie.
Yeah.
Once we get the dates, we're gonna need some input.
Right.
Well, it would be amazing if we could start on a new moon. If there is a full moon during the time that we're there for closure, that would be amazing.
That would be awesome.
Wouldn't it though? Yeah, somebody whoever is good at astrology, would somebody please let us know what it looks like in August? Who's
August of 2023?
Julie, get back to us.
And Susie too. Susie's doing astrology a lot now too, right? Yeah.
Oh, and Julie has a good advice. Get through these eclipses first before making solid plans.
Okay.
Ain't that the truth?
We'll brainstorm.
We have one
and then
today,
after the eclipse.
Betsy.
I know. I got my CBD gummies out. I'm gonna load up and go to bed and watch movies. I'm hiding from this thing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Let's see what else.
It actually
I was gonna say something.
Yeah, it's tonight here.
It's tonight for us. It starts at 8 p.m.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, moon phases and retrogrades.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It'll just, you know what? It'll just all perfectly come together in some magical alignment. I believe.
Yeah, I know. It's already feeling like that.
Yeah.
It's already happening. I mean, I've been thinking about. I was just thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. It's already happening. We were all thinking about it. We were on the same level, same frequency, and it's all gonna.
I'm
come
like,
together.
okay, I need to get a good push, and it's gonna be going.
Yeah. No, I can feel all the pieces of the web starting to come together.
Mm-hmm.
Behind the scenes, we won't need to do that much.
Absolutely.
Eclipses
so cool.
aren't scary. The alignment is just temporary. So making permanent stuff now won't hold. Good point. But it's good to think of many ideas right now, because then the proper ones will.
Yeah.
That's
I have some things that I am just dying to do, and I can only do in person. I could never do them the way that I could online. And I am just waiting for that.
See, that's my workshop too, Amber. I cannot. How do you split people off to go practice in twosies online? I don't know.
I know. It's better. I mean, you could do breakout groups, but there's nothing like being in person for that work.
In online groups, I fall asleep.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I have not figured out how to do that, to have that same kind of connection and electronically. It just, as interesting as it is that telephone and Zoom readings are pretty magical, but a class to me doesn't hold the same. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
There's
also some things that that I just can't do online, like to get that emotional experience in person, to go through an exercise where you're moving and doing something, and it's just you can't get that, and the energy in the room, you feel it and it comes together and things just happen, and it's like popcorn, you know, like one person gets it and it's just that energy in the room, and then the next person gets it and we're all just popping like popcorn. That's what it's like. It's going to be so cool.
I definitely want to do some specific group outings. Like, can you imagine doing a labyrinth as a group?
I would love that. I would love that. I think that's beautiful. Will there be group outings and adventures? Yes. Yes, group outings and adventures. Yes.
So, somebody asked about Sedona. So maybe 2023 is Maui and 2025 is Sedona,
I am not going back to Sedona.
Oh, I remember the story. You were on my live with it.
It took me a year and a half to recover from doing walk-in readings there for 3 months. Nope. Not going back. Sorry. Plenty of mediums there. Somebody can take my place.
I remember your stories about Sedona. Oh my goodness. All right, we'll start with Maui and then we'll see what happens.
See what happens from there.
Yeah.
I'm doing a manifestation board for the first time in my life, but after the eclipses.
A manifestation board. I do a manifestation board too, but I wonder what kind yours is. That's so cool.
The labyrinth where Jeffrey and I are going to get married, yes.
Let's see.
I understand what you're saying, Betsy. I had to adjust my expectations because online class is differently powerful.
It's very different. Yes.
There's so many labyrinths. I'm thinking the one on the west side.
I love that.
Secret Beach is not a bad place to get married either.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. But a labyrinth, that's pretty cool also. I have to run because it's my child's teacher conference. I have to go log in.
Thank you for being here, Amber.
It's so cool. I'm so excited. This has been a dream of mine for longer than you know, even before I talked to you. So I'm just so amazed with you beautiful people that somehow it just came together that we get to do this together. And everyone who's watching or will be there with us, this is going to be quite an adventure and I'm really looking forward to it. So thanks for including me.
Oh, of course.
Thank you so much, Amber. I just feel this is going to be incredible. Truly, truly incredible. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I agree. Thank you.
So exciting.
Sadhana. Thank you, Betsy. And thank you, Jonathan. And thank you, everyone that's watching. Bye.
Gerald also says, thank you for having this. Ooh, let's do something. There we go. That's better. Thank you all for having this chat. I'm looking forward to what comes next. Yes. So, thank you, Betsy and Sadhana, for being here. And thank everyone in chat for being here as well. I'm so looking forward to this. This is so exciting.
Absolutely. I mean, what a dream. A dream realized. Yes, we second that. A dream realized to have something like this to look forward to.
And just connecting with people that we've known from a distance for some time. It's going to be really beautiful. Yes. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Until next time.
Pop comments.